Hello everyone. Now you will hear a brief summary of the movie Sandcastle. Enjoy watching. Matt Oker enlisted in the army just to earn money for college, but on September 11th, 2001, everything changed and the guy was sent to war in Iraq. Matt deliberately broke his arm to stay on base and avoid combat. However, it was time to remove the cast. Matt told the doctor that his pain level was 10 out of 10. He couldn't even make a fist, let alone fight, but the doctor didn't believe him. He had seen guys with much worse injuries. What did the doctor say? Yes, normal. Welcome back. Unlike Matt, the other guys are eager to... Sergeant Harper sees that the private is not comfortable. He is much smarter than these rookies. It's not clear what he's doing here. I don't know. His father served. His grandfather. It seems that's how it's supposed to be. In the evening, the Americans moved toward Baghdad. Matt had to take part in street battles. How he hoped to avoid all this. The squad entered the building and started moving from one floor to another. The first soldier was wounded by a sniper. Matt and Sergeant Chatsky went onto the roof and opened fire on the building across. The private peeked out to understand where they were being shot from, and Chatsky decided that the fire was too intense and called for an airstrike. Matt is afraid they might also get hit. When the hotel building was blown up by a helicopter, his ears were ringing. But Chatsky is happy like a child. In the field, children of various ages are running around. Don't let those mini jihadists get close. They have small bombs hidden everywhere. The Americans' headquarters will be Saddam Hussein's Republican Palace. The grunts here are having fun and looting. They are having a great time, unlike Matt, who dreams of going home. 3 months have passed. Matt was made to ride in a car next to a dead Iraqi. Suddenly, he twitched. The guy panicked, but the sergeant calmed him down. These twitches are caused by the body simply decomposing in the 40-degree heat. In one village, the Apaches destroyed a pumping station and left the city of Bakba without water. The superiors tasked Sergeant Harper with organizing the delivery of water there, as well as repairing the pumping station. It's important for the Americans to show what a great job they're doing. It's a risky venture. The squad will have to leave the green zone and head deep into the backcountry, from where they might not return. Matt told Harper he's lying to his mom, claiming he's just hanging out in the kitchen, and his father, a former military man, left the family when he was 6. He said he was going to buy cola and just never came back. Now I only drink Pepsi. Matt is worried about the upcoming mission. The locals won't be happy to see them. The guy of course could refuse, but Harper hopes for his smart head. He sees the situation differently than those homegrown Rambos. Matt made the decision to go to this city. He lacked plates in his bulletproof vest, so Harper shed his. Ask yourself where you'll be shot, in the chest or the back. Choose wisely. The military will escort the water tanker. There's devastation everywhere. Thick smoke rises over the city. The convoy reached the city of Bakuba. A crowd of local residents gathered at the gates, wanting to fill their containers with water. Some climbed directly onto the tanker. The soldiers had to use force to drive them away. The person in charge here is Captain Siverson. He expected the command to send a larger team. Living conditions here are nothing like a palace. At night, the lights must be turned off. A sniper will shoot as soon as they see a light. By the way, Matt will sleep by the window. After all, he is a private. This was only the first water tanker. It's critically insufficient for the city. Besides, it's time to help repair the pumping station. It will take at least 1.5 months. Half of the soldiers work half guard. Therefore, it's important to involve the locals. They will pay the Iraqis for the work in cash. The soldiers estimated that they could deliver no more than 2 tankers per day. A guy in a pickup started following the convoy. The soldiers got nervous and fired a warning shot. The vehicle stopped. A man got out and explained that his daughter was hiding inside. The girl is sick and he is taking her to the city to see a doctor. They searched the driver and the car. There were no weapons, but Chatsky doubts. These Iraqis constantly use children as cover. However, Harper let the man go and offered him some money as an apology. Harper told the locals that they need workers. With their help, they will repair the pumping station twice as fast, so tomorrow at dawn, with a chitia, apesta cu toa. Those who stay will wait here for anyone who wants to come. Matt has to deal with the crowd. With great difficulty, the guy managed to line them up. In the morning, not a single worker came to the military, so the repair of the pump station will be delayed. Moreover, half of the necessary parts are no longer produced. Harper and the captain came to the sheikh to ask him for help. We are asking your people to cooperate, to help us solve the problem we created. The problem is that anyone who helps the Americans is facing certain death. No one will be able to protect them. It was the Yankees who broke the water. Let them fix it. The sheikh grumbled a bit more and asked the Americans to get out of his house. Listen, you piece of crap. I hope you get shot and die. Don't translate that. The school principal, Kadir, approached Matt and asked for some way to provide water for his students. The newcomers will have to work hard instead of the Iraqis. When the squad was returning to Bakuba, insurgents opened fire on them from above. The truck's tires were shot out. The Americans returned fire, and soon the Iraqis scattered. However, it's too early to relax. They are exposed and the water tanker was riddled with bullets. Chesky took advantage of the situation and showered for the first time in a long while. In the evening, the tank was patched up and heavy work resumed in the morning. Chesky is unhappy with how things are going. We are breaking our backs here all day to give these bastards water. We turn away and they shoot at us. I sense a setup right away. Next time, fire was opened on the civilians who were waiting their turn at the tank. The shooters took positions on the rooftops of nearby houses. The tank was riddled again. Dead and seriously wounded people are lying on the asphalt. The soldiers are trying to shoot back. Matt has to cover Chesky so he can make it to the building. But fire is coming from all sides and the sergeant was immediately shot down. In the evening, Corporal Enzo stated that he would not travel on that road anymore. It's certain death. Burton always acted bravely, but even he understands that the chance of surviving in such conditions minimal, and Matt no longer feels like helping the locals. Harper has quieted them all down. They must fulfill their mission. Kadir approached Matt again. A peaceful community has gathered at the school. Not just children. They weren't the ones shooting at the Americans and still hope for help. We want clean water, and for you to go home. Matt came to Captain Ziverson and suggested talking not to the sheikh, but to an ordinary person, like the school principal. So the next day, Sergeant Harper's squad arrived at the educational institution. They brought a couple of jerry cans with water. Kadir promised he would fine people if the Americans provided them with protection. Soon, the first workers arrived at the pumping station. However, there was an altercation at the checkpoint, supposedly because the bag contained some tools, which raised suspicions. Before the Iraqis were allowed near the facility, they were thoroughly searched. Things immediately went much faster. One important part was missing, and such parts are no longer produced. Brother of Kadir, Engineer Arif, assured that he could make it himself in a couple of days. In Iraq, he received a free education and was very surprised to learn that it's not the same in America. The soldiers also have no water, so Matt wipes his face with tissues every evening. The captain ordered him to paint a shepherd green. The locals shoot stray dogs, but the green dog is his dog, and the shooter will have to answer to... During lunch, the engineer gave Harper a taste of the chicken pilaf that his wife had made. However, the man refused to try the military rations. That's how they gradually became friends. One day, Kadir's people didn't show up. The military went to find out what happened. Near the school, there gathered people. The director was burned alive, and his body was left hanging in the schoolyard. For this, Arif told the Americans that the rebels meet at the market at night. The captain decided they would strike them the next night. 5 Humvees approached the specified location from 2 of the sides. Matt was placed at the machine gun of one of the armored vehicles. The main forces began storming the building. Everything immediately went off plan. A man who opened the door attacked the soldier. They had to open fire earlier than scheduled. The rebels began to shoot back. The soldiers eliminated them and advanced deeper into the building. Harper's squad also came under fire. Matt and Corporal Enzo started to respond. The corporal was wounded in hand. They are being shot at from all sides. Soon the order came to return to base. The Humvees with our heroes went back. Suddenly a grenade launched from an RPG hit one of the vehicles. Enzo and Burton were wounded. The latter is in serious condition. lines. The comrades were dragged into the second car. The captain immediately called a helicopter to get Burton to the hospital as soon as possible. Enzo wanted to fly with his friend. Matt rushed the prisoners with his fists, but Harper stopped him. Of the entire squad, only these two remained. In the morning, workers arrived again at the pump station. In any case, the city's water supply needs to be restored. During the lunch break, one of the workers took a cooler bag and carried it into the building. A second later, there was a powerful explosion. Matt was far away. He was just stunned. The guy looked around and saw bodies lying everywhere. The captain advised him to sit down to recover. All the work went down the drain. The pumping station was completely destroyed. So Harper and Matt returned back to the palace. Saddam. For the first time in a long time, the private was able to take a shower. Now he realizes the value of water. Sergeant Harper got 3 weeks of leave, and Matt was offered to finally return home. Master Sergeant, there is no need to worry. Your war is over. Matt began to protest. He wanted to return to Bakuba and finally complete his mission to provide people with water. But no one listened to the private. He was sent to a chaplain and given a pack of cigarettes, even though he doesn't smoke. It is hard for Matt to come to terms with it, as they managed to establish relations with the locals and almost fixed that station. But none of that matters anymore. Matt doesn't make decisions. He is just a soldier being told what to do. The guy recently wanted to go home so badly, but now he feels nothing. Matt said goodbye to Harper and headed to the plane that would take him back to America.